I've just been in this area practically all my life. And we used to skate out here at night. And the older folks would dance. And it was a good neighborhood.
It was a working class neighborhood. African Americans lived on the east side of 4th Street. And the DLL factory, which is now 3M and it's closed, that was a source of income for a lot of people in my neighborhood. So we had neighbors who were working class people.
From 7th Avenue on up is horrible. The young kids just take over. They don't have respect for people.
There's a lot of young people just restless. It was a lot of gang activity, drug infested. It was very unsafe.
I want this neighborhood to be back like it was when I was a child, where you can walk the neighborhood and everybody knew each other, and if one person needed something, the whole neighborhood pitched in and helped that person. That's what I want again. I want my neighborhood back.
I've noticed change in the area. People that are disruptive are being moved on. That was very encouraging to see change like that. I had visions of moving out of there.
This neighborhood is in a lot of transition, and there's people who have lived here their whole lives, but there's also a new influx of students that are moving here, people that work at Ohio State.
For Weinland Park, we were involved in a planning process with the city, neighborhood leaders, and other stakeholders in 2004 to 2006 to develop a neighborhood plan. And that plan contained a vision for the neighborhood that came out of that planning process. I would describe that vision as attempting to create a true mixed-income neighborhood in Weinland Park. To look at ways to improve the quality of life there that benefits the existing residents, while at the same time creating opportunities for new residents to move into Weinland Park. My thought of a mixed income neighborhood is a neighborhood that has a cross section of people with a variety of incomes. In Weinland Park, because of the concentration of project-based Section 8 housing, there's about 450 units of government-subsidized housing that's going to remain affordable for very low-income people for the next 30 or 40 years. I think that the challenge in Weinland Park then is attracting middle-income folks to also live in that neighborhood. So it's not viewed as simply a low-income neighborhood. And there's already some mix of incomes now. Even though home ownership levels are relatively low, there are a number of people who've chosen to live in Weinland Park, either because it's close to their employment at Ohio State or close to downtown, or they simply find the housing affordable. So I'm hopeful as we go forward in the future that we can not only maintain housing for low-income people, but there can be some new housing and some renovated housing that will attract folks with higher incomes to Weinland Park too.
We are trying very hard to, I'd like to say, bring back that feeling that I had as a child.
It's a neighborhood, so I feel like the people in the neighborhood should be able to make the decision to move out of a neighborhood or have their neighborhood change completely.
There's a segment of neighborhood residents who will participate in a civic association, but we also need to reach out to the broader residents and get them involved. We've already had discussions with Community Properties of Ohio about how we might work with the management company to reach the residents of the low-income housing, to get them involved in effective ways in the neighborhood.
It's hard for my neighbors to believe that there's hope, because my neighbors have been lied to a lot. My neighbors have been overlooked. My neighbors have been mistreated. My neighbors have only seen bad. They haven't seen any good. So now that we come trying to give some good news, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for people to trust and believe that you mean what you say and you're just not saying anything.
In Weinland Park, the key is to work with people, be open and honest. The primary goal of Campus Partners is to strengthen the civic life in Weinland Park, work with the residents to help them improve their lives, bring together other agencies, the city, the university, to work with the residents around issues of employment, education, social services, public safety, as well as civic life in the neighborhood. I think if we're able to do that, the proof will be in the pudding.